Hello everybody and welcome back to our 4th Age Total War Harondor campaign. We're starting off on the battlefield today with the battle for, I believe this is Atabara. This is a settlement right along the southern border of the map in, as you can see, fairly desert territory. This is a settlement that was originally owned by Far Harad. You can see it's off to our rear and left. But Harad has conquered it, and now we are rolling it up. At least that's the plan. We're on the attack here. And, yes, they have reinforcements. Right back there. I think there's about 600 or 700 of them, and as we get a little bit closer, we can see that it's mostly footmen. They've got a unit of, I guess this is Herodwaith Riders as their captain or general unit. A lot of skirmishers, one sword unit, archers, corsairs, otherwise pretty light stuff. Over here, this is the army that we're attacking in the field. And this comprises, cav and skirmishers, so pretty straightforward. The trick, as always, is making sure that the enemy comes on so that we can actually take them out and get the city on this offensive battle, because we are the attacker here. So we don't want to lose the opportunity to get the city without a fight. As the image back there indicates, they have built walls here, so this is nice. We don't have to do that anymore. This is one of the settlements in the map that starts off unwalled. And as such, it's the farthest west of the initial settlements of Far Harad. And so it feels extremely vulnerable. And when you're playing that faction, it's right in the midst of Harad's territory. It's extremely tricky. And so you want to get to walls kind of fast so that you can, not lose it on just a single turn. But walls are pretty expensive in this mod. And I believe to even build the walls, you first need to develop the settlement above the level at which it starts. So there's a considerable investment, even to getting, just to having walls. And walls themselves, I mean, the first level walls are not providing a great deal of defense. It's just the strategic value of being able to park your guys, one token unit for a garrison inside the settlement, and then you can get your guys out in the field fighting the enemy without feeling that you're going to be attacked and assaulted in a single turn by a far superior force. So it's a lot of fun playing Far Harad, actually. But Harondor is fun too. That's what we're doing today. And then hopefully we're going to grab this, and then Harad is going to be down to, I think, just 2 or 3 settlements at that point. Let's see. And I'm being slow here. We need to preserve the stamina of our cavalry units because they're going to be chasing routers. Now, fortunately, there's no family members in this battle. The captains are, unfortunately, both cavalry, these fairly large cav units. And that means that, they can be harder to catch if they rout too soon. But all this other infantry is very easy to catch. So this should be good. Okay, we're already, what are we doing here? Why are we going... What are you guys doing? What on earth? Well, that's just about the dumbest thing. Oh my god. Okay. This is going to foul us up because look. Oh, okay, maybe not. Maybe they're not retreating just yet. Oh, jeez. We skirmished into their lines. I very, very rarely see that, actually. Usually the native skirmish in this game is fine. Okay, so good. They're not fleeing. We can do the same thing, but I'm kind of shocked at how quickly they routed. They barely made contact. Now, we did outnumber them, and they were under javelin fire, so that does count for quite a bit, I guess, being under all of those missiles and taking a lot of losses. So it does add up. Let's go ahead and speed up the timer. Our guys are moving slow, it looks like, though. That's kind of okay. We'll let the heavy guys do some of the work here because we do have some infantry that I'm a little concerned about. Mostly, of course, the swords, which are over here. And then we've got some corsairs right here. But the other main unit is this, the archers of Harad. Can do a good amount of damage, and they're not firing yet, but they could be quite soon. Now, how's our guys in terms of fatigue? Stamina's looking great, actually. They're all fresh. They've barely done any work. So maybe we should start them. Okay, the edge of the map is right here. Let's go just have them start running. And let's throw everything straight ahead here. Gonna kind of do the same thing. Alright, let's send one general at the archers, one at the corsairs, and then these charging guys will throw right at the footmen. This is a spear unit. Oh yeah, look at that. They just melted under those javelins. That's beautiful. I guess I haven't paid enough attention to how just awfully effective that is. Just the missile component. Alright, but see those archers? See how well they're doing? It's like really rather well. Okay, there's the swords. They're going to be firing. Archers are still standing. Let's switch over to swords. Okay, we've already got the swords out, hacking in there. They're wavering, so it won't be too long here. I guess we can peel away from that cav. We've already got the general, and these guys can now swing around into the back. And our guys have taken a beating, but there go the swords, and now everybody is routing. Very nice. Okay, so this should be fine. I think we're going to have no trouble getting the settlement here. I guess the only question is, how many losses did we take, and is that going to impact our ability to make further progress? But actually, Far Harad is now our neighbor to the east in this region. So we're going to only have to worry about them. And they are not totally passive. They are a protectorate of Khand, I believe, still. And so that, that may make a faction a little more passive typically. But I've seen them sort of bring forces towards Harad, so they are doing some stuff. Okay, we're under siege in Karambad. I must have missed that. Very interesting. So that happened on my turn, or on the AI's turn. All right, so let's take a look at our army here. We have a nobleman, a governor, adept governor, and a competent commander, so he's quite good. And he is dutiful. So here's the thing. We've had a few turns here, a few years since the beginning of the game, of course. And early on, a lot of our governors were just not feeling very happy about us, faithless, insolent. But now we're seeing traits like dutiful. And so here he's getting bonuses to income, as you can see from the bottom of this tooltip, bonus to troop morale, and a bonus to troop training costs in the form of a discount. So this is all very nice. We did manage to get in the second tier building, military, and the next one will be the hosting halls, and that's going to give us, let's see, some more of our native stuff, basically. We've already got the footmen and the skirmishers, then we're going to get swords, the Herodwaith riders and the mounted skirmishers. Those are all going to be great units to have down here. And they're attacking us with this. That's right, okay, they're going to be doing a siege, and I think we'll be fine. I hope we will. They do have 2 sword units, but again, so do we. We're equal in terms of experience. Okay, so I'm thinking the assault's going to come relatively soon, and we are sending some reinforcements over there. So let's first take care of this. We will just sack Atabara. There's actually quite a few people here. 4,064 would be killed or cast out, and we're going to make almost 4 grand. So let's do our thing and lay desolate. Go to low taxes as always. And our guys are not the best at governing. We do have a competent governor here, but I think Atabara is just not going to play a major role in my income for a little while. I'm a little concerned about this. As you can see, Far Harad does take men out of its own settlements. And although we are allied currently, I'm a little worried that they may start something over here. So, what am I trying to say? Well, I don't know how safe this is going to be, and so I'm not eager to pour a ton of investment into it when I know I'm going to get much higher returns on some of these coastal settlements. Once I run out of this stuff, though, we will go back here because this is our first settlement with the incense resource. And so this is going to be nice for trade, actually. So this will probably be a financial settlement. But first, let's make a little more cash by destroying these military buildings that we don't need, and getting rid of the Homeland Dominion and going with provincial pacification. And now we're seeing a couple of assassins here. Yes, so here's our ally with a rogue or assassin just outside the settlement. The other reason I'm a little concerned about this vis-a-vis Farharad is that this is one of their homelands. So I'm pretty sure the AI does go after their objectives. Like, what we're going to need to win is to hold our homeland settlements as well as a few others, right? Basically everything you start with plus a few notable regions. And so for Farharad, that's the same. Hold your 3 starting positions, and then I can't remember if Farharad has to go for Khand. I think they may. But regardless, they're going to be coming after this, or at least they might. Now, our assassin is... Now he's only 1, okay. What would be the odds on taking him out? Not bad, actually. I wonder if I should give it... Probably not. I should probably not give this a shot. He's possibly going to get killed by a spy anyway. So let's just use our rogue for scouting like we've been doing. And let's use our scouts for scouting too. Get someone up here because you never know if Harad is going to send an army through this region. And we're just kind of double checking what they have here. Let's go see if those elephants are going to show up in a stack anywhere. It doesn't look like it. I'm guessing they're all here. Only 3% chance for getting into the city though, so that's not very encouraging. Yeah, we just can't see. It's interesting. I'm not sure exactly what governs how much your spies can reveal when they're outside a settlement. Obviously, if your spy gets inside, he can see everything, full details. But when your spy is just standing outside, sometimes he can see a couple of units, sometimes he can see all of them. So I really don't know that, how you determine that. Okay, but regardless, with our money, it's looking great. We've got some more plunder to spend. And we are having a siege down here. 6 seasons. With these, you know, I'm inclined to kind of let them go. Just for a while. We're building some siege towers. And so we could assault, but this is going to be kind of rough. I mean, they're air. They do have a swords unit in there. And we don't have anything fantastic, so I might just let this go. Maybe we'll get some reinforcements eventually. But I'm not too keen to start something there. But with our new cash, I think, yeah, Habad would probably be a good place. We've got a governor here. He is already an attuned governor, so he's going to get some bonuses to construction there. And so what would we want here? With these coastal settlements, I'm almost always going to go just financial because they don't give you that much military stuff. Obviously, Umbar is going to do everything. This is a chief city, so you can build all of your markets, all of your barracks, everything you want. And it's close enough to these that I don't feel the need to build military stuff in either of these. I'm not sure if it warrants going for administrative. I have a hard time deciding what to do, where to do an administrative policy. It allows you to build more happiness buildings and culture-related stuff. In particular, libraries. And the second level of libraries can bring some very nice faction-wide benefits, if I recall. So, you know, theoretically, you might want to do an admin policy in a settlement where you're going to have trouble with public order and you want some law bonuses. But you also don't want to do it in a settlement where you're going to be missing out a lot of, you know, extra trade income, right? So let's go financial here. I mean, we don't have any trade resources at Habad. It doesn't look like we do. We don't in Karis Nan either. Isn't that odd? But yet we're trading. So how does trade work in this game? What exactly are we trading? Let's see. Habad. Okay, we're importing. Yeah, we're not trading anything in particular. We're making some trade from Akis Anaban, which is actually a lot. That's the settlement rate here, which has ivory. And so just the imports are making us 245. And then we're importing stuff from sea. That is interesting. So it's entirely importing. We're getting fish from Haradland and all these other places. So we're importing a ton of stuff. So this is not our huge money maker. But we are exporting to Haradland as well. We're exporting for 277. Why is that? I guess you just have sort of non-defined stuff that you trade. If we were to build a trader, we can see that the trade income will go up 916 to 1002. So let's say almost 100 once you add in the administration bonus. There'll be some upkeep associated with that, so we're going to miss about 40 or 50. So it'll improve. Let's go with financial. I think that's what I want to do here. And one of these is going to be slightly more productive than the other. But it is worth looking at it for those moments when money is kind of tight. And let's go here because we're not actually spending all that much of our plunder. So Red Harnon, we have the opportunity to go with something else. Now we've also got roads here, which is nice because I feel like at some point we're going to be shuttling troops to the northern border, just because. So we've already got the roads, and this is a financial policy. Yes. So what are we trading here? What do we got? We got horses. Okay, so that's a decent resource. We could go with the horse breeders there to improve that. We could go with a road camp to just improve everything. We could drop a bunch on tribal grants. That might be worth it. It's almost always worth it if you have the cash at hand. In this case, even more so because our experience for these troops is going to be improved. We've already got tier 2 military. So this is going to give us, over and above the tribal moot, an extra point of experience, as well as growth and all the other good stuff. So let's go with that. Yeah, it's going to make us a couple hundred, improve growth, and it'll just make this a more viable training center. So I think we'll do that. And yes, we are being attacked, and this is going to be the Assault of Carenbad. Fantastic. I do like a siege defense battle every now and then. I typically like defending rather than attacking, but siege assaults are just rough on me because I hate taking losses, and there's no way to avoid that. But with a siege defense, you feel like you could avoid taking those losses. This will be a good one. We're going to get rid of about maybe a quarter of Harad's strength at this point, assuming we can win. But look at these walls. They've gifted us with some nice walls when they handed over this settlement to us. And all they've got to throw at us is a ladder and a battering ram. Now, I do think that the towers and the wall defenses have been nerfed a bit. We were talking earlier in a previous episode about how the towers seem not to fire inward quite so much. But I think in general, we made them a little just less super powered, right? Like in the early versions of the mod, it was very difficult to get stuff to the gates. Like your rams would just be shot to pieces, and so you had to double up on a lot of things like siege towers and rams. But later versions, we've gone with a more I don't know, I think it's a slightly more balanced approach where you can actually get some fighting in your city, and you do have to defend it with men and not just the walls. Okay, so we'll just go like this, pretty basic formation. They do have some cav. We've got our general here, and this is a fear-causing unit, so he's going to be doing work even though he's not actually fighting for much of it. And they do have red sand archers, just the one unit. But we'll see if they actually get to approach the walls. We've seen all of these units before, so nothing's too intimidating. Let's see. Okay, yeah, 12% damage on that ram. They may burn up. It's hard to tell. I'm not sure what determines whether or when a unit catches fire. When that happens, it seems to be the end of the ram. Like, I don't know if it needs to get to, a third damage or what. But we're at 24. Now our javelins are throwing in. Oh, yeah. I think the ram's going to make it, which is fine. I'd rather deal with these units rather than just have them run away because they can't hope to make the assault. So there will be some fighting in the streets. Let's just double check how this looks then. Yeah, I think I do want a fairly deep formation for my footmen, and these guys can be strung out. These footmen of Harad levies. My general can be over here, just ready to charge into the flank. And that sword unit, okay, we've done some damage to them, not as much as I would have liked. But these guys are really feeling the pressure. Down to 46 men. They're going to still suffer that. And we've used up all of our ammunition on the Swords of Harad. These guys still have javelins, though. And we are going to come under fire here from the Red Sand Archers. We're not feeling it yet, though. Yeah, I don't think we've taken any losses. Oh, here it comes. No, our battlements are really doing good work, as you can see. I mean, they're offering a lot of shelter. But our swords are under fire. But they haven't taken any losses yet. Here their swords come. Okay, I think we just gotta get an arrow to the face. And this is just about their entire force up on the walls here. But, yeah, only 12 men, wavering, 10. They're going to be gone pretty soon, I would think. And then they're going to have to send up this other stuff. But the gate almost is busted through. And the biggest problem we're going to see is these javelins taking out some of our footmen troops. I think I'd still rather have these guys be the target of that. I think they're just more able to withstand it. And they'll be a useful unit even if they're cut down quite a bit. We do have javelins they can turn around and throw down in here. Let's actually put these guys in guard mode now that I think of it. You guys can be just ready, sort of typical standard formation. And yeah, we're going to get lots of opportunities to take out these desert skirmishers with our javelins. Very, very nice. I think I like siege defenses too, just because it's more leisurely. You can take your time and, you know, look at what's going on. With an assault, you've got to be bird's eye view, keeping an eye on everything. All right, they haven't thrown yet. Are they slightly out of range? They might be waiting for the ladders to see if anything's going to come of that. So let's speed up the time here. I think this is a pretty foregone conclusion. They're setting up desert skirmishers. We're going to just mulch them with our Swords of Harad. There they go. Going in through the gate, and our javelins are going to hit them in the back now from the walls, and that's going to do it. Beautiful. Very, very good. Glad about that. And, yeah, no losses yet on our Harondor footmen. Beautiful. Now, they may come back, those Swords of Harad. I do hope they do, because, again, I'd like to kill them. And we don't have any spare cav to get out and around. But we can now get our guys into the fight. They're getting the swords in there. We're taking 1 or 2 losses here from the cav. And their archers are in melee too. Okay, let's take you out of guard mode. I think I never know when to just give up guard mode. But let's let these guys throw their javelins. Then we'll let the general get in there. And then their general still has yet to join the fight. So I'm not sure exactly what he's waiting for. It might be that he's waiting for, I don't know, some kind of victory in the fight for the gate region. But a lot of times, as soon as they bust in through the wall somewhere, the AI will send the general in. Otherwise, he'll tend to hold him back. There he goes. All right, we do have a few javelins still, so there's a chance we could do some damage to him. I guess we could get our swords down, but I think we're doing okay. I think we're going to get our general in the fight. We are losing a lot of men down here. But as soon as their general kind of commits himself... All right, let's do that now. Let's hit the Red Sand Archers. They're shaken. And we're not going to get a good charge or anything here. We'll just start hitting with swords. Okay, they've got a unit of riders routing already. And yeah, let's bring our swords down. Let's bring the larger unit. Oh, yeah. Big routing happening. Okay, there goes the general. Yep, we didn't even need it. Great. All right, we'll just speed this up then. We're going to get rid of all these units. Okay, the general will come back. Let's let him come back. Hit him again. And he goes down to our footmen. Beautiful. All right, I think we'll just end the battle here because there's like one guy we would be running down. So, good. We've defended Carenbad, and now we can get started on a follow-up building project there. And we've also taken out some, you know, some nice units. Red Sand Archers are pretty light, but it's, you know, they're good to get rid of. And they didn't do much damage to us. They probably would have been more effective in an open field battle. Okay, so Farharad's still hanging out there on Harad's territory. We'll see if they move. Okay. Nope, no movements that I can tell. They're right outside Anorlith. What are they going to do? Let's see what they've got. Okay, a fairly typical Farharad army with, I think this is their second tier spearmen. You know, they've got the Desert Footmen, which is, you know, kind of typical for Harad. And then they've got these guys, Southron Spears. I think this is a unique unit for Farharad, actually. There's the mercenary version, which is basically these guys that you can find all over the place. But I don't think Harad can train Southron Spears. I think this is a Farharad only thing. And then, let's see, what else? Yeah, of course, the Southron Skirmishers. This is a mercenary unit, but also available to Farharad. And then they've got the Southron Champions, which is very cool, but kind of idiosyncratic. Okay, so that's what they've got around Anorlith. Yes, here we go, Southron Champions. Very interesting unit. They're not berserkers, so they don't go berserk, so they're not crazily powerful like the guys in Rune that you can train out of the fighting pits. But I like them. I like these guys because they're scary. Combat bonus in deserts. They're pretty fast, if I recall. And I just like the idea of just shock troops that take heavy losses that you can throw in, or that you have to be a little careful about if you don't want them to get torn up. All right, and we made 6,000 last turn, but again, that's a little misleading. This, however, this is very nice to see. 14,000 projected in profits. So if we do nothing, we're going to be around 50 grand in the bank next turn. That is great. That's like halfway to Protectorate, being able to reliably make that happen. So let's see. Where's your elephants? Not here, and I still can't see what you got in there. All right, and this guy, he's only got one subterfuge. I think he's got two. So if there was any elephants to be seen, he would be the one to see him. It's just, I wish I knew where they were. If they were still around, they might not be in play. Okay. Otherwise, though, I mean, we're doing quite well. So 5 more seasons for that siege. Anambar, we're kind of doing nothing. I guess that's okay, though. We've got our Dominion building all set. The, what is this? An Outland Dominion. We've got that here. So we're really going to focus on Umbar. We're going to try to be targeted with our spending. Carenbad, though, I think we do want to go ahead and retrain all these guys because we may be under attack again. But honestly, even if they do bring Mumikil to this army, I think we could handle it. I mean, we've got enough javelins. But let's go ahead and spend, what is that, about half of our income on hosting halls here. I think that's going to be important. Hopefully we can build it in time before we get into any trouble. And let's go with another unit of Harondor footmen. Because those guys, you know, they did pretty well. They took a lot of losses initially, but they're quite good. Actually, we've got another unit coming here, so maybe we can afford to hold off. This looks like a quite good force. Let's go with the Desert Skirmisher Levy unit instead, then. And then maybe we'll go for footmen. And that leaves us 6,000. We could hold on, or we could just go for Consultation. That's pretty cheap. Well, we've still got the men and the money. And did I train? I believe at one point I trained a scout or something. Let's go ahead and train a couple of scouts. because we don't have any agents that have a great deal of visibility, and I do want to keep an eye up here on the Reunited Kingdom. And I'd like to get into Mordor if possible too, but that's not something I can do just yet. Actually, you hold on, because I want to see, does anybody own... Okay, Caer Andros has fallen to the Reunited Kingdom. Oops. And I think this was the army, possibly, that was headed down into our territory before. But we're just in a holding pattern here with this army, which I think could take... I think this could take most of what the Reunited Kingdom would throw at us. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that. Yeah, looking at the map, Harad's got 3 settlements. They've got the island off of our coast, and then they've got the 2 to our east. We're at 40,000 Mirian in the bank. Beautiful. And Atabara has its provincial pacification, so that means we need to go with that here. And, oh shoot, you got a lordship. I forgot to move you guys out. Well, I guess that's okay. He's probably not too happy. Yeah, dubious. He would get better in terms of feeling about the faction leader if we left him here to actually govern his province. But now, ooh, he's got bloodlust. But now that he's got a title and we're not going to leave him in here for very long, he may be, in fact, less happy about us. So we may need to watch that a little bit. But bloodlust. His commander lusts for the blood of his enemies. Okay, pretty straightforward. That's great. +1 command when attacking, when defending, and troop morale. Fantastic. Okay, so lightly wounded. We'll watch out for that. Maybe we can give him a turn or 2 in here, actually. He is seasoned. I think what we need is some garrison stuff. So let's maybe bring down some footmen. We'll bring down 1 unit. And 1 unit of skirmishers, and we can train those guys up again pretty quickly in Karen Bed. I'll just queue that up right now. And now that we've got these guys outside, are they going to be moving west? Bring you around right here. Okay, we could... Yeah, I feel like we're going to lose a spy here. Okay, no. Wow. Not very impressive. A lot of these units are cut down. This is just 9 men. So they've got 3 units of swords. And it looks like just 2 archers and 1 cav. Yeah, we could take that. But I'm not going to. I do not want to take Karasagar. What I want to know is if there's elephants in here. And I think the only way to do that is to get a spy inside, and that's just not happening. So we're going to have to see if we can get him out into the field. Yeah, I guess the elephants could be there, but I doubt it. Leave the spy right up there to keep an eye on all of that. Yeah, I think, geez, we might want to move this army with most of its cav and bring some infantry along for the ride and take out Harad's forces. So we want to get them as a protectorate, right? And maybe this episode is part of preparing for that. Once we get them down to just a few settlements that we can put under siege, then we want to make sure that they don't have a ton of troops. Because if the target faction feels strong, they're going to be less likely to submit to a protectorate status. And yeah, we'll go financial here. So we want to make it a goal to hurt them in terms of not only their income and putting the pressure on their settlements, but also in terms of making sure that their military is small and weak. And we will have to get these, I'm realizing too. So it'll be a little while, but let's go ahead and rebuild this. I think this is going to help happiness, maybe. Yeah, so it's not showing up here, but so I'm not sure if the happiness is actually being negatively affected while it's damaged but not destroyed, but it's good to just build it up anyway. Okay, but I think that's all I want to spend. I want to go a little light on spending. Okay, and they're throwing their fiercest Gondorian hillmen at us. Okay, this actually could be a problem because we don't have many men down here. We've got this force, and we're working on, okay, 2 seasons to control posts. Otherwise, we've got no training. Yeah. Yep, we're looking kind of vulnerable, actually. Okay, and how are you looking? Competent commander. He's youthful. That's good. And he's a wary fighter. So he is actually a very good general. Okay, so where they land, what we can do is grab some mercenaries. I think that's what we'll have to do. And then that'll be an interesting little fight. Let's see. Do we want to keep the siege up? If we were to assault... Ugh, I just don't want to. We'll keep them under siege. We'll see if we get a couple of turns to wait. Maybe that army will land and decide that it doesn't really want to do anything. This is also telling us that Harad still has some fight left in it. Even though in the east they seem pretty paralyzed. Along the coast on that island there, they've been able to train stuff up. And they're not shy about getting it into our theater. Okay, and actually, they haven't landed. So maybe they're going to assist here. Oh, that would be really cool. We could fight a nice defensive battle for the fort. Okay, so Tharbad has attacked Dunland. And North Rune, okay, actually got a ceasefire with Dale and an alliance with the dwarves. So that'll change stuff up in the north. Really not relevant to us. But Ravanian and Adunabar are at peace as well. And that could just be that they don't share any borders anymore because the Reunited Kingdom is starting to take over everything. Okay, before I forget, let's get that spy. Let's see, which one did we train? I don't know. We'll go with you. You can be the guy who watches Ithilien. And Athendad, great. Fiefdom Dominion, Harngan has finished the roads. So here, we don't have any governor, so it's going to, as you can see, the costs here are going to be quite a bit higher than they would if we had a nice, attuned, well-trained governor in place. So we'll just leave Athendad for a little while. Making 17,000. Yeah, I think they are going to come for us. So let's spend some of that money on mercenaries, and I expect we're going to come under attack. Now that's going to give us the Notorious Brigand, which is some bonus to Mirian Plundered. Okay, and Habad, since we've got a governor, let's see, 15,000. We can spend, let's 5 or 6 grand I would spend. So let's go with the cheap road camp there. That's going to make us, as we saw earlier, you know, about 100 or so. Okay, yeah, everything looking fine, and they're back in the settlement again. Okay. Let's just see if we can see what you are. Parchereb Tribesmen. Okay, an interesting unit. And Farhad's just hanging out. Fair enough. Yes, okay. We are being attacked outside the fort. Beautiful stuff. So this is going to be just a crazy battle with lots of Gondorian footmen. And actually, you know, it might be a tough one. This is their heir, their faction heir, who outnumbers us in terms of men. And we don't have a whole lot. Probably the best units we've got are these 2 archers. And we don't have a lot of cav. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out. I'm going to make a little save here. And we're going to jump into the battle. All right, so you may have expected a battle there. There's a series of disasters that led to the situation we're looking at currently. And so here's what happened. I fought the battle twice. Each time there was a crash because we got the fortress. And there is a siege-related bug in Rome Total War where if you get the settlement on the AI's turn, there is sometimes a crash to desktop, and that occurred to me. There are various fixes for this, and you can find them easily enough. I have applied those fixes, at least to the best of my knowledge I have, and it still doesn't work 100% of the time. So what I tried to do this time was auto-resolve. I lost the battle. I thought, okay, let's reload that, and maybe I'll fight it out and let the general get back to the fort. Instead of reloading, I saved. So I saved over the position that I had earlier. So at any rate, we've lost the battle. We've got this now this force of Gondorian hillmen running riot through Umbar, and we lost the general to boot. So we don't have anything there that we can do. However, we did finish building at least something in Umbar City. We can train one of these units of footmen of Rad levies, and we're just going to auto-resolve our way back into the fortress here. We are just going to take this out. That's very irritating, of course, to have to deal with that. We're also getting some strange diplomatic information. So, Reunited Kingdom apparently briefly had an alliance with Dunland, which is odd. Oh my gosh. Wait, what? So they got Dunland as a protectorate. That brought them peace for a turn with the Kingdom of Adunabar. Then probably they attacked them immediately, because, or they went to war with them because of Rohan also being at war with Adunabar. That meant the United Kingdom is no longer a protectorate of Dunland. But at least Dunland does have peace with Rohan, maybe? Yeah, here's the heroic death. Death by auto-resolve. So I just wanted to get through it quickly, and the auto-resolve was not with me. But anyway, we're going to retrain some stuff, and we're going to get this back. It's just a little irritating setback. So let's take a look at that diplomacy, though. That's fairly interesting. Reunited Kingdom is neutral with Dunland. They are at war with the Adunabar. Rohan is neutral with Dunland. Interesting. Oh, geez. What's that going to mean for us? Let's take a look at what's up here. Nothing at all. No forces in the area. Now, Dunland may ruin this. Theoretically, what could happen, this could be a great move for Dunland, right? They could just sit tight, focus on other stuff. They're being attacked by Tharbad right now. And then the Reunited Kingdom could decide, well, let's attack the player, right? They may come down and try to hit us. But I don't suspect Dunland is going to do that. I expect their war is going to start up again pretty quickly. So we'll just have to be alert to the fact that we may get some Reunited Kingdom guys heading towards us at some point. Okay, let's build something here. Let's go with the cheap road camp for a bit more income. That's going to be quite nice, actually. Over 200 in trade tariffs for, you know, about 50 or so upkeep. That's a pretty good return. And we can finally get our men into Atabara. And yeah, Far Harad and Harad, everything is just super stable out here. I think we got to wait to deal with the forts before we start aggressively moving our guys around. We can do some retraining, though. Let's get our Lancers back up north. And let's do some merging of these skirmishers. We can just carefully 52. Yeah, that'll be good. Let's see. Yep. And what do we have left? So we got 12, 27, 10. Yeah, let's bring all of you. And like all the cav. All the cav can go. If they start to move west, then we'll just run right back. And because I'm a little concerned about the lightness of this garrison. But we need to replenish our forces in the south, I think. Okay, but yeah, otherwise I think we're going to be good. I want to keep making money, so let's not build anything. Just get our spy up into the north and see what we can see. Alright, that's going to hurt our income there. There's very little we can do about that. We don't have a great naval capability as Harondor. We can actually get in here and with our spy. Wow, that's surprising. Let's get him in. Okay, public order's looking quite good. Okay, we can see what they can train. Let's just leave him up there for a little while. Okay, yeah, Tharbad and Dunland are at peace. So Dunland is now totally neutral with everybody. Okay, let's go with one more of you. And let's see, if we take you out for a turn, let's auto-calc. Clear victory. Beautiful. And we even get a little title for it. And let's take this one out. This is the weaker of the two forts. And if we're just going to auto-resolve, which I feel like doing, honestly. This is a noble. We got to take both of these. Just in the interest of time. We're going to lose a little bit of income at Umbar cities, but honestly, we're losing that anyway thanks to this blockade. And this is a Corsair Marauder. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, we could, what, train up a few of our tiny little Southron ships of war, 32 men, versus the 110 or whatever it is for the Corsair Marauders. There's no way. So we'll just have to let them wander off of their own volition. Umbar City. Jeez. Of course, we could go for building. Let's wait. Let's just wait. We don't have our governor in there anymore, so we're not getting those sweet discounts. But we can spend some of our money up here, while we've still got our nice governor and faction leader, Haroon. Yeah, I think we want to go for money. Horse breeders is going to be a little more of that. Actually, very little. Not very much income there. It's like barely any. Yeah, I know we can get to the second tier of this building eventually, but yeah, I've got to say, I would think that seems rather low. Let's go with this. We're at least going to make a couple hundred on that, and that will bring down our income as a whole, of course. Okay, and we've got some encroachment here. This is those Parchereb tribesmen. So, I'm not terribly concerned about it. We can send some men to deal with that. Again, I just want to scout out to see what we're facing. So this is just archers and cav. And this is just assorted stuff. And Parchereb, yes. Parchereb tribesmen. So archers, spearmen, an interesting unit, but not super effective. Okay, interesting. And Farharad is making a fort here. Just to hold out. And I like where they're making it. They're not making it on our side of the border. Alright, let's go with Consultation because it's very cheap. End the year. Yeah, these forts, man, they've been kind of the bane of my Umbar campaign. We had a sort of a straight-up assault a little while ago. Oof, let's risk it. Average victory. Okay, we at least didn't lose our family member. Here we will occupy. I'm going to go ahead and restore the walls. And the building here, as you can see, it's quite a bit different. There's no Dominion building. This is a permanent fortification, and as such, it's pretty limited. This is a petty province, meaning it's a pretty small area, but you can have some buildings to increase a bit of trade, a bit of fortification, and some training as well. Now, we can't really do too much of that just now. No, actually, we can. We could go with Footmen of Harad levies. Yes, because I think this is the same type of building that we could build anyway. So we don't need to do anything here. We could just retrain, but the population is too small. So what we're going to do is just leave this on low taxes. That's going to increase that. And then we got to get it up above, 500 or so before we can really do any of that retraining. Okay, we're betrayed. We're betrayed by the Reunited Kingdom. Okay, here it begins. Yep, and it begins, as usual, with a pointless naval blockade. Okay. Well, we're going to stay right here. The only thing about that is that they could land men on our coasts. Okay, so we lost our alliance with Rohan. Rovanian is at war with Jorwanian. That's fine. Dunland is at war with Tharbad. And, okay. Dunland is allied with Ravanian. We could try for an alliance with Dunland at this point. Let's just check what they're actually looking like. They're allied with the Dunabar, they're allied with Ravanian, and they're at war with Tharbad. Let's see if they'll take it. I do want to get over here to see how they're doing against Rohan. Let's see, alliance. I don't think I need the money, but I would like map information. They want money. You know, I can give them money. I don't want to allow trade. We can't trade. There's no point. And I've read, I'm not sure if this is true, but I've read that the AI, if you agree to trade but you can't trade with them, like they don't have any ports near enough to trade and we don't border them, then they get angry with you, or their relationship with you decreases because you're not actually trading. So let's wait until we can trade. Let's go ahead and do that. We're giving them money to fund their wars in Tharbad. I would not mind a strong Dunland. So we're reorienting our alliances here. And yes, now we do need to speed up our conquest of Umbar and Harad. I wonder why we get this transgression message. Now, this could be totally random. What we could suggest is maybe putting a spy inside their settlement was an instigator of this. We got kicked out, so they found us out, and maybe that precipitated the war, right? I guess. Realistically, I've seen that transgression message pop up with no logic behind it as far as I can tell. So I think it just happens when the relationship between you and the other faction reaches a certain threshold. And sometimes that's maybe due to your agent's activity, but sometimes it's just due to the fact that you border the faction and they start to covet your territory. So that's, I'm not totally sure. But let's see what their armies are actually going to do, because I'm not seeing big armies in this neighborhood. I guess we can have the spy, since we've got a strong force here, I guess we can have the spy check out the coast, the interior. Let's see what it looks like. What are they training? Swords and bows. Pretty basic. Yeah, and it looks pretty soft. It looks pretty weak. So, we get Umbar taken care of, right? We just deal with this that we've got left. I'm going to leave you behind, and you'll probably still be happy. Yeah, just 32. Spearmen will be good. We'll get in here and do some more retraining and training. We'll take Harondor Fortress. And now we should be able to build again with some discounts, right? Yeah, that's looking much better. Okay, so do we want to go with carpenters, or do we want to go for the iron, which is going to require mines? I think we want to go for mines, but okay, we're still attuned. That's nice. Okay, so this is really great. So mines, I think, are going to be super lucrative. Yeah, 26, 28, so that's over a couple hundred, and then that doesn't even count the land tax. Yeah, we're going to do mines. That's going to take some time. But it's going to help. Then we're going to get going on military down here. We're going to get a good force together. And we should probably, let's see. Yeah, let's keep you up, because now I'm thinking I need these troops, maybe not down in the south, but maybe up in the north against the Reunited Kingdom. So how about this? We'll take you north too. He's mature. And so we'll send him up here. We'll get some nice skirmisher mercenaries. We will keep training at Caranbad. And we will do a little bit more training up in the north. I know this is, costing us money. Let's go with some more swords, and yeah, 2,700. But we're losing money anyway because of that trade. So I think with what we have down here, if Far Harad gets feisty or we need reinforcements, we can send them, right? And we've got the general here, theoretically, that we can send elsewhere. Let's go ahead and put this on local governance just to make him a little bit happier. He was dubious before. But now he's supportive because he's been hanging out in his own settlement. All right, are we under siege somewhere? I think I heard that. Maybe that's the blockade. Yes, okay, Ur is under siege. That's totally fine. Take a look at our news. Okay, yeah, Rohan has declared on me, and that means, well, unrelated, they've broken their alliance with the Chiefdom of Rune. Oh, because we are allied with them. So, okay, that's nice. We've still got the ally of Rune. I guess I forgot that we were allied with them. All right, we've got a lot of men, and we're still making 14,000. Okay, I thought we were going to be hurt more by not being able to trade with the Reunited Kingdom, but honestly, they're not giving us all that much trade anyway. Okay, so Karenbad, now we've got our hosting halls. That's going to be a big help, and a lot more income at a couple of other settlements. Great. We're the most advanced. Did lose a little bit of money in the last turn. No real surprise. We're building some fairly expensive stuff. Okay, since we don't need the governor here right now then, let's take everybody out. Build some stuff. And in here, this is going to be tough. This is now the ruler. I may just leave. This is 7 turns. This is going to take 6 turns. So in other words, we're not going to be benefiting from his discount stuff for 6 more turns anyway, right? So that's the logic I'm using to keep him basically besieging Harondor Fortress for at least, 6 or so more seasons. So we'll get you up here to Harngond and, yeah, retrain all of you. And we can also train one more thing. Let's go with a unit of Harondor Armsmen. I feel like we could use them in our push over to the west, because my plan is just to hold here and not bother going north for a while. We're going to basically make our focus over here. Yeah, so they got some King Spearmen, it looks like. What's up here? Yep, some Kingdom Militia. All right, hard to tell. But this is ultimately going to be our goal, right? This is the place, if you're playing Harad, or if you're, in this case, playing Harondor, I like Dol Amroth to be the first target. It's far enough away from Minas Ithil and all these places, or Minas Anor, rather, and Pelargir, that you can get over there, and typically the AI will, be busy fighting off in the east. So you can usually sneak in there and see that the garrison is kind of low. So that's going to be my plan there. Let's see. Should we send you to deal with this? Probably. All right, let's go right here. Train mercenary spears. And no more mercenaries in this region, so this is going to be a close one. Where, yeah, because it's archers and they've got spears, we're going to... Yeah, this is going to be kind of rough. But that's okay. We'll have our reinforcements, skirmishers. They're going to have to take a lot of the arrows. And then we'll get rid of this siege. And then we'll be able to move... let's see, what do we want to do with this general? I don't think I want to leave him here. I think he's going to be the commander who's going to push into Gondor once we can hop across the ocean. So this also raises the question, I guess, of, when are we going to attack the island?
Reinforcements have come, and your strength grows once more.
Because Tolfalus is an island I've been avoiding in the early years, even though we were war with Harad, and even though it looked like an easy grab. The problem with Tolfalus is that it becomes a target for the other factions, whether that's Harad or the Reunited Kingdom or Harondor, right? Whichever faction you're playing in the area, the others will go for Tolfalus. But now war with the Reunited Kingdom is on, and it's not going to end because they are allied with Rohan in this special kind of alliance, like the Romans in the base game. And so even if we get a ceasefire with the Reunited Kingdom, they're going to follow Rohan into the war the next turn. And so I guess we could theoretically try for a ceasefire with both factions simultaneously, but in practice, that's hard to pull off. So this is going to be the rest of our life now. We're going to be at war, basically looking to Gondor as our big threat. So it's good that we got stuff wrapped up in the timely fashion that we did, but this also does free us up now to take Tol Falas, which is nice. I do want that province. That will probably be the target for the Reunited Kingdom from now on. All right, they're not moving to shoot at us, so very surprising. All right, why are they not firing? I mean, I will take it. Very peculiar. All right, let's switch targets. They're routing. All right, is this going to be it? Is this going to be the move? Yep, they're shooting now. Okay, so we need to run. And I want you to run over here too, but I want to be careful because they have spears. So the general would probably still come out on top, but this is a tricky unit to deal with, right? They did just give their head for the hills order. Let's run them down now. I think we'll be fine to do that, and we'll just follow up with everybody else. See if they turn and fight. That's going to be the biggest issue. We're technically charging that unit, but yeah, I kind of figured. There come the spears. I mean, they're not actually using them, which is good. Yeah, this can be a surprising unit to deal with. Okay, there we go. We did take a loss.
Drive them from the battlefield.
No, but that's going to be it. There goes their general. And we've saved so that's very nice. But yeah, I think I want to move this army basically up to the northwest, back into Harondor, gather the forces up there that we can train, take Tol Falas next, and then move over to Dol Amroth. I think that's the sort of river hopping, island hopping that we're going to do for the next episode here. Let's see. We do have another little army right outside, so we might not be totally free to move just yet. So let's leave him here, actually. I think I'll grab a Heraldwaith Riders unit. Okay, he got Captain of the Hosts for that. So again, you may look at this and think, okay, 8 command, that is ridiculous. Check out this guy. He's awesome. He's now one of my best generals for fighting a little dinky battle against skirmishers. No, that's not how it works. Again, command on the campaign map is an indication of military rank. You get military rank by, fighting battles. So this guy won, he got a victorious battle. What this really simulates is the king or the faction leader granting him this title of military rank. So if I want him to be one of the most powerful men in the Principality, in other words, one of the guys who is most likely to lead on a campaign if there are multiple family members present, then I let him keep the Captain of the Hosts, right? Because his command here is going to outrank most of my other family members. Like this guy, for example, only has a rank of 2 command. Again, this is not his military skill. If we look at him, he is a competent commander. He is getting those command stars from what? Probably from this. I don't know exactly. It's not from a lordship. But at any rate, this does not have anything to do with his actual skill. When you see it on the campaign map, This has to do with his rank. So he's a noble. It's, as it says here, the rank, which is like the third or the middle item in the tooltip here, rank. This individual possesses some minor rank or nobility, though he is not in a position to take command when truly powerful captains are present. So theoretically, this guy could be a better commander. He could be like an inspired commander. But if he was fighting under this guy, who is a competent commander, as long as Faran here had the captain of the host's title, Faran would take charge. So it is worth, if you're fighting with multiple generals, it is worthwhile to look at what are the titles they have and how can you ensure the most skilled captain is actually going to be the one who has the highest rank to lead in battle, if that all makes sense. I think we'll leave this here. I can't quite reinforce with cavalry, so I'm going to leave it for now. We'll see if this army moves off in the presence of my forces. Can't train anything here, but I think that's okay. Again, we're trying to sort of save cash, although I say that. Yeah, let's get another unit of plainsmen out of skirmishers, and let's go into a slight amount of debt to get the Lord's Barracks. This is going to get us our Harondor armsmen, our archers of Harad, horsemen of the Harnan. So this is just fantastic stuff. We've got to do it. Okay, otherwise, let's hold. The dwarves want trade. We can't trade with the dwarves. They would be meaningless. And we wouldn't even get any money out of it because we don't share a border with them or ports or anything. Okay. So as always, we want to keep an eye on ships, and now that's going to be even more important. Fortunately, it's just this tiny, tiny Alcarandas with only 10 soldiers, and we've got 32. I don't even think it's worth... Yeah, we're still making plenty of money. Almost 12,000. I don't think it's worth fighting that unit. Okay, we lost a rogue. That's fine. Alright, let's check out Dol Amroth then with our spy. Yeah, pretty weak. Now, they do have some good units. They got 2 units of men-at-arms. They got 1 unit of the Knights of Dol Amroth. So I'm glad they leave some of these guys behind. And their general here is probably also, yes, Knights of Dol Amroth. Now, he's old, though. You tell by the beard. And so by the time we get up here, he may have died of old age, which I'm kind of hoping for, actually. But already, you know, we've got a decent little force that we could just send straight over. Yeah, and this army is, in fact, moving. So I think the MO for the future is going to be leave lightly defended and hit it with this force in Caranbad. I think that would be good. I think we've got enough men to make that really feasible. All right, 3 more Parcherab tribesmen. Okay, well, we'll just keep an eye on things. And now you're going to move northwest. And I will keep those mercenaries there, I guess. Let's see, how many swords do we have? We've got 1 here. Let's go for 1 more. That brings us 2. Let's go for 1 more armsman unit. Very expensive, but I think they're worth it. And Harman. Yeah, we've still got this this governor who's been here for a very long time. And actually, I meant to hand off a title, didn't I? Let's take care of that right now. So he's got this title, the Watcher of the Crossings. Now you'll notice that this does not just give a flat whatever to command. This gives a +1 command when defending. So this is actually going to be useful to this guy because it means that on the battlefield he's going to get a bonus to command. Now, notice that he's kind of defending now, but it's not showing up here. Again, that's all working as intended. So he is literally now the Watcher of the Crossings, and that's going to be fine. Okay, we've got another sword actually here. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay, but as long as we've got this guy, let's go ahead and go for some cash. Yeah, we'll go with a financial policy, and then we'll work that up. Rad Harnan, I guess a road camp? Yeah, that'll give us just a little bit of income. Those little tiny increases to trade income may seem pointless, especially when you factor in the upkeep. But the thing you do have to remember is that it increases and it all adds up together and snowballs. Especially once you start adding the trader line of buildings or those markets, which do not have upkeep. That increases the raw trade, so all of those buildings are being improved too. So it can add up. Obviously, you want to prioritize the most lucrative ones. Okay, very interesting. A big stack of the Reunited Kingdom is stuck up there in Dunland. I want to check out that diplomacy. They are not at war with Dunland. That is great. And hopefully they just won't want to be. But they are at war with Harad. So I think they may be in trouble here if the AI is going to get its stuff together. Okay, no big deal. No troops. That's the thing I'm checking for. And we're still making 12,000. Okay. We're trading most advanced with the Reunited Kingdom there. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, we've got a road camp sabotaged here, so that's going to hurt us. Let's get that income back. It's costing us quite a bit, actually. And Zareb the Killer. We're not going to be able to deal with him. Okay, no one's marching over in this area. So I think we got a few turns to scrape stuff together if we really need to. But let's take all of you. And, yeah, move you together. Yeah, we're not going to grab those mercs. But we can retrain you for some higher experience. And now we'll get a fourth one. Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. All right, 8,000. Let's spend it on, well, a trader. We don't even have one of these. It's going to help with growth. I mean, eventually he'll just die. That's the one nice thing, is that these agents do have lifespans, and so you can just wait them out. There's the road camp again. So, do we bother rebuilding? Let's not. Let's not rebuild this time. We'll see if he's going to just keep going, or if he's going to do something. If he's going to move on from that to like our Outland Dominion building. Okay, so we've got a lot. Atabara. Okay, what do we got? Oh, okay, we've got Dunland. All right. Interesting. So Dunland is back in the fight. Yeah, let's go with that. Charter building. That's going to help us make use of the incense. All right, everything looking fine down here. And here come the armies. Okay, so we're going to have some fights here, it looks like. They've got what looks to be a full stack, but is very beaten up, I'm guessing, based on the size of the banner. What's behind him? We don't know. We don't know. So, let's get maybe another spy. Well, let's see what our army looks like first. You all over here. I do want to get like a full stack. So, will you all fit? Okay, and we could even grab another unit. So yeah, we got 4 swords. We get 3 of the Horsemen of the Harnan. We've got 4 of the skirmishers, and we've got 3 of this cav. That's pretty good, actually. Let's go with that instead of waiting around. We'll go up here. We'll get on the boat. We'll move over to Harlorn. Take that. So we will get a spy here. And we can use that to go probably up to Athilion. And meanwhile, this spy... Okay, yeah, they're moving over to the west. So this is actually really nice timing. I hope the war with Dunland is a nice stalemate for everybody involved. I don't want the Reunited Kingdom to start doing too well. I don't want Dunland to start doing too well. But yeah, let's take a look down here. Okay, the island is looking nice and vulnerable. I don't see any big stacks. There could be some ambushes in the trees. But no troops are around. And there's only a single unit of Gondorian axemen in here, which is a nice unit. We can train it eventually. And there's a revolt, and the population is tiny. Hopefully we can get in there before a big rebel stack takes it. Okay, while I'm thinking of it, let's train a diplomat so we can get him over to Harad in a few years' time. Okay, they're doing some more sabotage. All right, and here's our attack. So we've got an attack at the crossings, or just back from the crossings, and this is going to consist of some interesting units. Sarnic Axemen. We do have some guards of the Citadel. 2 of the initial 3 units, I'm guessing, that they start with, but they are both beaten up. Still, they're going to be very strong fighters. They do have some men-at-arms. All of these guys have been reduced by a lot, well, down to a third, it looks like, and I wonder what the situation was that caused that. But yeah, we're going to be fighting not on the crossing itself, but on the ground just back from it. And so here's where I'm hoping that my placement is accurate. I'm hoping I have a nice big hill to defend here. But we will see. We're going to see how this goes in the next episode, folks. So hope you'll join me for that. Until then, take care.